And just like that, Christmas is upon us. The shooting season is over. It's cold outside. It's currently, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to tornado sirens and hail. So it's that time of year where we're just not going to get matches on the weekend. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't still be dry firing. We do it all year long. But during the year, we're dry firing to maintain and then perform out at matches, especially if you're gearing up for national level matches, areas, and things like that. So it's a little different if you're not a competitor. Your dry fire routines are basically the same, always pushing harder and getting into conditioning. So dry fire, by the way, is practicing and conditioning. You're not, very rarely are you training in dry fire unless you understand how to diagnose yourself and what you're seeing through the sights. When you get to a certain level of whatever you want to call it in your shooting venture, you will get to that point. But generally speaking, for the most folks that are new to this, dry fire is just practice and conditioning. So I want to walk you through exactly what I'm doing currently with dry fire, and maybe you can take something away from it. It looks a little different, and as it should for anybody, but there's a few key components that we all should be doing. Training our eyes, making sure our mechanics are efficient, and last but not least, making sure that we're emulating recoil. Just simply pressing a trigger and the dot not moving, well, yeah, it's fine and dandy, but it's not how a gun actually works when it goes bang. It has recoil. So I'm going to do a little bit with Breda 92 Langdon Tactical LTT Elite with an SRO. Then I got a Glock in there I'm going to do a couple things with, as well as a rifle. Barrel blocked, safe, all that yay stuff. All right. Having some dry fire tools is very helpful. Case in point, my buddy Dustin gave me these, and they are very helpful. I have some full-size IPSCs as well. I say full-size. They're scaled down. Anyway, so full-size popper and an IPSC. All right, so on both, you'll see a tiny little dot, permanent marker I've stuck there. That is to train my vision to pull into a specific spot that I want to see and press the trigger on. So that leads me into my first thing that we should be working in dry fire, and that is your vision, both the acuity and the speed of it. And what do I mean by acuity? Acuity is that fine point on a target that you want to see and bring the sight to and press the trigger on, not just, oh, red on brown, pull the trigger or whatever. Like, nope, I want to shoot the A. Or if you have a partial with, a little bit of A and most of all the C and D, okay, I want to press the trigger on the line where the A and the C meet, or the C, depending on what you want to do. If speed is more important than points, yada, yada, yada. You get where I'm going with this. All right, so make your targets in such a way that it pulls the acuity of your vision into the spot you actually want to shoot. Bring the dot or your front sight to that specific spot, press trigger, and then slam it if you want to as well, to emulate some recoil and muscle input into the gun to see where that dot's going. That'll shake down your grip inefficiencies as well, if you'll see how that dot and sights are moving through imagine like a 8-pound trigger press. You're smashing into it. So mine does like a up and around down thing. So probably should push a little harder down and left with, or down and in with my left hand. There you go. That's exactly what I mean. A little bit of diagnosing there. My dot did this, so I took my left hand and I pushed downward and in, and now it does that. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole we could go down. All right, so get some good training tools such as that. I've even done sticky notes on the wall, and I'll write an A on it, or a C, or I'll draw a popper whatever on it, or a big circle. Excuse me. But make sure you're pulling in your vision. All right, so what about the speed of your eyes? Well, that's going to go into your transitions. You need to go from looking at that one point and breaking as soon as that trigger is broke and you understand the recoil has happened, shifting straight to the next point that you actually want to focus on, where you actually want your sights to go to. Of course, eyes leading, and then pressing the trigger as soon as your dot or your sight is on that little spot that you want to hit. All right, so pushing your vision, so as soon as it breaks, moving off of it, eyes leading with gun following, of course. All right, what else should we work on? Mechanics, efficiency. It's never a bad thing to work on your draw, your presentation through the draw, and get a good reload in. All right, it doesn't have to be super fast right now. Lead up to it. If you hear my dog clacking around, I'm sorry. So, never hurts to go ahead and get good old mechanics working in. So, like if you want to pull the trigger, leaving out of a position, reloads, things of that nature. I don't, for when I'm working a reload, I don't drop a mag because I don't feel like picking it up. I don't feel like dinging up my floor and my mags and unnecessarily. So I know that I hit the button. I know it's going to fall. And I just bring in a mag. All right. So before anybody says anything, these are all inert rounds. The primer is removed. There's no powder. It's just a 124 grain bullet crimped into a casing, and they're all painted orange as well. Training mag. I like the weight. All right. It was a whole lot cheaper than buying training mag. I don't even know if anybody has or if Double Alpha makes a training 92 mag. I don't think they do. Anyway. All right. So vision, mechanics, work those things. Pull out some efficiency. Once you feel like you're getting some efficient moves, you can go ahead and start adding speed to it incrementally. All right. Make sure we are not creating any bad habits. Make those neural pathways myelinated. And then I touched on emulating recoil. You can't, so with a single double action gun, obviously you can't get a repetitive, that's probably loud, I'm sorry, repetitive single action trigger press. What Steger says to do is one double action and bang, 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 just not let it go back out. So emulating that single action. I like that. So, but while doing it, don't just daintily go pew, pew. No, 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 no. I want smash, mash, smash, mash, smash, mash, smash, mash. All right. I want a lot of pressure in that finger so that I can mitigate muscle input into the gun so that my dot doesn't do all kinds of crazy things while I'm smashing through it. Yes, I know it's like a 2.5, 3 pound single action, but I like the idea of over conditioning. If I want to pull a 6 pound double action, I'm going to go practice pulling 10 pounds. If I want to practice pulling a 2.5 pound single action, I'm going to practice pulling 4 pounds, 5 pounds. Anyway, so, and again, building speed through that as well, but not so much you can't actually track what the dot is doing. Case in point, I have an A, the letter A capitalized as you would see on the center of an IPSC target, sharpied onto my wall. About a foot to the right of it, I have a circle emulating the center portion of a steel popper. I want to actually shoot the A and the center of the popper. It's the highest scoring, best way to shoot an IPSC target and a popper. So that's what I have written on my wall. All right. As far as emulating recoil on a double action, single action, that's for that. With a striker fire gun, I just like to work off of a dead trigger. Draw, smash, 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 smash. That is so different than the Beretta. There it goes. All right, now, what was I looking at? I was seeing how my dot was reacting on that A and that circle through the smashing while inputting about 6 to 8 pounds of pressure through my trigger finger. And I was altering what my left hand and muscle input was doing, a little bit of torquing as well, until I got the desired result, which was very little movement in the dot in a repetitive way. It wasn't doing something weird each time. It was doing the same movement every time, which was just a little up, little down. Sometimes smashing through it will make it go straight down as well. So there it is. I like that. Now I'm actually pulling into the trigger as well and seeing that dot move straight to the right, like perfectly horizontal. So that tells me I'm taking that finger and dragging it across the trigger as I'm pressing and pulling. I mean, basically, I'm not pulling it straight to the rear like I should. All right, so let the sights tell you what you're doing wrong. Learn to diagnose it, go from there. All right, so those are your 3 things to work on. Give you a little bit of a rundown of what I'm doing. And you don't have to do it in your full-on gear. I'm literally in what I mess around at the house in: shorts, flip-flops, and a t-shirt. Just throw your outer belt on, grab your gun, make sure it's safe, and start going through your routine. Make sure you're working your vision with acuity and speed, mechanics, most efficiently as possible, and then make sure you're smashing the trigger to emulate recoil and dot movement. All right, dot movement, the recoil. For a rifle, it's about the same thing. One cleared rifle. I don't have a flag handy somewhere. I'm sure I do. What I like to do on a rifle is I like to lock my bolt to the rear. All right, make sure it's clear seat, clear field, clear all that jazz. That way I can work the safety and the trigger. I just don't have that clunk. Totally fine. All right, but same thing, I want to find spots specific spots that I want to, oh goodness, I dropped my microphone. Specific spots on the wall that I want to actually shoot. I'll hold it here because I'm almost done with the video anyway. Same thing, reloads. I don't want to drop empty mags because I just don't want to have to pick them up, and it's just a pain. It's not necessary. We know where the mag button is. We know it drops freely if we do it right. Anyway, all right, so, but same thing with a rifle. And then if you want to practice your transitions, you can. I don't have a barrel to dump in or anything like that. So if you have any specific questions or anything you'd like to add to this dry fire routine, let me know. This isn't a end-all be-all by any means. This is just what I'm currently doing. I do feel like these are the 3 things that you should be hitting on during dry fire no matter what. Any additional things are awesome. And then how you go about this, you know, it can be tailored to you as long as you're doing those specific things. All right, don't forget, it's your responsibility to be an asset, not a liability. Y'all have a great Christmas. Thank y'all.